Hey guys, I'm currently doing an RP giveaway with 4 other YouTubers. We are giving away $100 worth of RP. If you want a chance to win, all you gotta do is click on the link below. It'll be my pinned comment. It'll also be in the description. All you gotta do is click on that link, give me as well as these other YouTubers a follow on Twitch, a follow on Twitter, and subscribe to all of our YouTube channels. These are all individual entries, so the more people that you follow and subscribe to, the more entries that you will be getting, and the higher chance that you have at winning the RP. Best of luck, and now let's get into the video. What's going on, Nasty Nation? It's Nasty, and in today's video, we're going to be answering the question, is Zac support viable? So, the main reason that I think Zac support could actually work is because after his rework last season, he was super OP for a while, and they ended up nerfing a lot of his damage, which made him weaker in the jungle. However, they never touched any of the numbers on his CC. All of his crowd control is still the same, equally as effective as it used to be. So with that being said, I think that his damage is a little bit worse, which makes him a worse jungler. His clear isn't as great, but because the CC is the same, I think that we can pull it off in the support position. So we're just going to have to see how it goes. And if you guys do enjoy this kind of video, this kind of testing out if a support champion or if a certain champion works in the support role, be sure to let me know down in the comments below if you do like this kind of video. And if you do, then, leave me a comment, let me know what kind of champion you would like to see me test out next. With that being said, though, let's jump into the video. So as we get into the lane right now, up on your screen should be a picture of the runes. Just going to flash that up for you guys real quick. I think it's most common that Zac starts W when he jungles, but as a jungler, that doesn't really make all that much sense. I don't see any good openings to use it quite yet, so instead we're just going to use our auto attacks on this minion wave to see if we can get level 2. Not a bad trade there. Tristana took a little bit too much damage. We're going to hit level 2 here and see if we can do anything about it. Oh, never mind. I was a minion off of my calculations. Not too bad, though, because Tristana's pretty low, so even if we did hit level 2 there, I'm not sure we would have been able to do much with it. I'm going to be taking E second. Again, W just doesn't do all that much for you as Zac support. It's really, really good when it comes to clearing the jungle, but as support, you're not going to need that sustain and that clear as much. Instead, we're going to be focusing on crowd control first. Also, I'm going to be doing a lot of comparisons to Zac jungle, as you might already be able to tell. And another comparison is the fact that Zac is a very weak early game jungler, so you can kind of expect that he's going to be a weak laner as well. Wave is pushing towards us, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, Tristana did get chunked a little bit earlier, so we can't play as aggressive as I would like to in this lane, even though this is a Vayne lane, and a lane that I ideally want to be playing aggressive in. Vayne is a very weak early game ADC, so she's very easy to exploit, and she also has a fairly low range. Tristana also has a low range in the early parts of the game, but her jump reset makes it so that she can play a little bit more aggressive in the lane. Let's see if we can get anything done here. Just a little bit of friendly poke, nothing too fancy. Again, the later parts of the game is where I'm expecting most of the action to come into play. And the lane phase is just going to be similar to a lot of other support champions who just aren't all that great in the lane phase. Going to Q, jump, smack them together, ignite early in case Vayne decides to heal. Make sure that my ADC gets that kill, and boom, easy, just like that. So as you saw there, just a little bit of recap of what happened right there. That is going to be your most common combo as Zac support. I think that when you play Zac jungle, the most common combo they're going to be doing is somewhere along the lines of using your E from Fog of War, trying to jump in on opponents, and use your Q to bang them together. As Zac support, though, you don't need to come in from the Fog of War. Instead, you can just Q1, jump to the other, smack them together, and that's going to be your most effective combo. Also, as you just noticed, I'm going to be maxing E, same thing as Zac jungle. I think it's still very important that you max E because it's going to give you that increased range, and in the later parts of the game, I'm still going to have that same role of engaging from afar, but at least in the lane phase, just the Q, jump to the other opponent with your E, and then smack them together. That's going to be the most common and the most effective combo. So it looks like I just saw Vayne recalling in the bot lane. So if I go bot right now, there's not anything that I will be able to get done. I'm just going to be sitting there kind of waiting for my ADC to push out the wave and do whatnot. So instead I'm going to roam. And it looks like Taric has the same idea as me. So we're just going to run into each other. Good thing that I am here because that would have been very bad if he was able to collapse on Ahri there. Just gonna come in here to see if I can get anything accomplished. I wasn't expecting that E to land. I wasn't expecting us to get a kill there, but it's better to do something than nothing. And I figure there's nothing for me to do in the bot lane, so I might as well give that a try. Maybe Xerath just happens to mess up and walks into the E. No harm, no foul though. Instead, we're gonna return back to the bot lane, drop this control ward. I have my E. There we go. Some good poke there. A little tip for when it comes to playing Zac, and this goes for any role that you happen to be playing Zac in, but when you're using your Q, you always want to use your Q on the target that is expecting it less. So a good example is, a lot of the times what you actually want to be doing is using your Q on the minions first and then auto-attacking the enemy champion. That's just going to eliminate a lot of probability. Really effective tip to use there. So I think Vayne was expecting me to Q her, so instead what I did is I Q'd the Taric. Same thing here, I'm walking towards Vayne. Instead I'm going to Q Taric. Something along those lines. Of course I just walked up and took some free damage there, but that was just a little bit of an example. Taking a look at the items, we actually aren't that far ahead for one reason or another. I'm assuming that Vayne happened to back with a lot of gold and a larger CS lead, which is why she was able to buy the same items as Tristana, even though Tristana did come up with the first blood. So with that in mind, even though we do have that first blood kill over them, we aren't actually ahead of them in this lane. Me and Taric have the same items, and so do Vayne and Tristana. So probably just going to wait this out. Probably going to just sustain and with the Relic Shield, farm up some gold, potentially wait for 6, and then look to be a little bit more aggressive there. Instead, though, Warwick has some other idea. Let's see if we can play this out. He's in Fog of War right now, so we're just going to play it patiently. I don't want to walk too forward and give away the gank. We don't know where he is either. Warwick got onto Taric there instead of Vayne, but it's not the biggest deal in the world because we did get both flashes, so I'm okay with that. Now when I'm 6th, it's a really good time for us to re-engage. Same combo there as you saw in the previous kill, except that time I used Q on a minion, jumped to Vayne, smacked them together. No point in trying to throw the Q at Vayne and risk missing it. Instead, I'm just going to Q the minion. That way, all I have to do is auto-attack Vayne. Makes it a lot easier on my behalf. Don't have to risk missing that crucial ability. One thing that I will be watching very closely is if I hit 6 before Taric. If I do, that would be a really, really good time for us to go in. If not, though, and he hits 6 before me, then I'm going to have to play a little bit more cautious, a little bit safer. But I am getting fairly close to it. I'm going to miss my Q, so we're going to back up. Have to play around that fairly long cooldown for now. Okay, so Taric is 6, so we're not going to do anything too fancy right now, but Warwick is nearby. They have no flashes. This should be a double kill for us. And this guy is also out of mana. I'm going to Q the minion, eliminate probability, and give that over to Tristana as well. Super solid play all around there. As you saw, again, not to sound like a broken record, but these tips are very, very important, which is why I want to put an emphasis on them. There, as you saw, I Q'd the target that was not expecting it. I was on top of Taric, so instead of throwing my Q at Taric, and then trying to walk over to Vayne, instead I just threw my Q at Vayne, was able to bang them together. My ult didn't do any damage because they were in the Taric ulti, but I figured it was still important to use there to drag them a little bit further onto our side to ensure that we get those kills. Now we're going to pick up an Infernal Dragon, walk over bot lane again just to maybe push in this wave. On second thought, Tristana wants to keep the tempo, so we're just going to back there. That's fine as well. But a super solid start to the game for sure. 0-0-3, 10 minutes in. Tristana's got 2 kills and 1 assist, so we're looking very promising in this game. And as I mentioned earlier, I think Zac is pretty weak in the early parts of the game, but we are definitely making some stuff happen, which is always nice. So last time we came into lane, even though we had the kill above them, we were actually behind. And items, this time we have the item advantage, so we can feel free to play very aggressive. And we also did have Ahri coming down, which is going to make that super simple. Same thing as always, queuing the easier target, which in this case was a minion. Then all I got to do is auto-attack Taric. makes my job super easy. Very different from what you would see as Jungle Zac, where you're Eing in from afar. This time, just going to have to Q them, walk up, smack them. Very, very simple, actually. And making my job very, very easy. And making this pick as a whole seem very, very good so far, at least. Let's see if we can jump in on this guy. Alright, I do have passive, and I'm not taking tower because I missed there, so that's fine. All we're going to get out of that is a used ulti, which is perfectly fine in my opinion. Going to make my job a lot easier if we decide to re-engage. Taric is nearby, though. I would imagine he's coming back from lane about now, so there he is. Now we're going to back up. I'm going to drop a control word here and maybe look to engage on this. If Taric has ulti, that could be a little bit sketchy. I'm going to cancel out on my E there, so it's a reduced cooldown. I'm very hesitant to jump in right now because I am somewhat low, and Taric also has ulti, I would imagine. But on top of that, Vayne has her tumble and her condemn. So if I jump and she tumbles out of the way, then I'm stuck in a very bad situation. And if I jump in and she condemns me into a wall somehow, then I'm in a bad situation too. So we are ahead in this lane, but I don't want to be playing overly aggressive. I need to wait for the right opportunities. So I'm going to sit in this bush now and again wait for her to see, or going to wait to see if she uses her tumble. And if she does, then that would be a pretty good time to go in. That might be warded because Taric, I think right there, was trying to time up his stun with when I was jumping in. So again, we're going to be a little bit hesitant, make sure that we are being patient, waiting for the right opportunities. Whenever your people are ahead in the lane, they often play overly aggressive, which is how a lot of games are thrown, and I want to make sure that I'm not doing the same. Also, I'm still not too comfortable with this Zac support pick, so I don't want to push my limits too much. I want to just figure out how this pick is going to work, and if it does really work at all. So far, I would say that it's working, but again, it's too hard to tell. Tristana is backing, so there's no reason for me to be in the bot lane. Instead, I'm going to roam over to the mid lane, see if I can get anything accomplished here. Probably siege down this tower. I saw that there's a pretty low health. That should get us a kill. Nice. Oh, he's barely going to live, but we are going to kill Mass G, so I'm perfectly okay with that. And Camille ends up going down as well. So right there, what I actually did is I wanted to try to burst them down very, very fast. So I E'd in, didn't E on top of him, but instead what I did is I flashed, just tapped my R once very quickly to get some burst damage out. I also used my Ignite. I think what ended up saving her there is her passive. I believe it's her passive that allows her to get a shield. So she got a little bit of a shield there, which ended up keeping her alive. She also got a kill on somebody else, which allowed her to level up. But I think that was still an okay play to go for. And if I had the opportunity to do it again, I absolutely would. Again, I was just going for a very quick burst there, which was a flash, ignite, tap the R very quickly. You know, use my W, even though that's not much damage. One more final thing that I should say is that I'm maxing Q first. Again, Zac support, going to play it just for all the CC. The CC is still 100% the same. So we are going to be putting an emphasis on CC, which is why we're maxing E first, then Q. In the jungle, you max W because it helps a lot with your AoE damage and clearing camps. Also with the sustain, because every time you pop W, you're going to get another blob to help you heal up. But again, Zac support doesn't really need that, so we're going to be maxing Q second. Vayne is not in lane, but Taric is sitting here. Let's see if we can collapse on him. Gonna Q a minion. Q him. Pretty good knockback there, actually. And we're gonna get a flash from Vayne as well. So pretty good play all around. It's nothing too fancy at this point. It's just been rinse and repeat of the same exact combos. And they haven't really figured it out all that much. It's been working out pretty well, if I do say so myself. It is just the standard Q to the easiest target. And then smack him against the next one. I don't have passive here, so I do need to be a little bit safer. But it's not going to matter. Easy peasy. Another 3 or 4 kills picked up. 3 are dead right now, but we also killed Taric, so that's another 4 kills picked up. This pick is working a lot better than I thought it would, which is making me very, very happy. So I don't know if this is just the one-time thing, if it happens to be working out this game for one reason or another, and if it doesn't work, or if it wouldn't actually work in other situations. But if I were to say, we're only 17 minutes into this one, but if I had to say my answer right now, I think Zac Support is definitely viable. Considering I'm playing this in a Diamond Elo game, I think that it could, without a doubt, work. In lower ranks as well as maybe even some higher ranks. I think in Masters and Challenger it would be a little bit trickier to pull off. But for the most part, this pick seems very, very good so far. And we're not even into the later parts of the game, which is where Zac typically is going to stand out quite a bit. You know, early game, 17 minutes, again, only 17 minutes into this one, and is working out pretty fine. So even the early game surprised me a little bit this game. Wasn't expecting to be quite as active, quite as effective, but it's still good to see the fact that I am able to be so impactful in this game so early on. Hopefully, even though this game is looking to be kind of a stop right now, hopefully we can get into the later parts of the game and they don't forfeit, because it would be a shame if we weren't able to see his team fighting potential on Zac Support. Looks like their bot lane is pretty overextended, so we're going to see if we can collapse here. Ooh. Alright, she went down there anyways. I tried to Q the minion to make things easier on myself, but she actually tumbled into it, which made that a little bit more difficult. Still, a couple more kills picked up nonetheless. 0-0-10, 18 minutes into this game. Again, hopefully they don't forfeit, because I really do want to see some good team fights as Zac Support. So it is warded, so they do have eyes on me. But it doesn't matter. Oh, that was a very strange interaction, actually. Nice. Got a couple more flashes there. I'm actually going to back out now because Quinn is not here. Also because Tristan is dead. Once again, though, I tried to charm the easier target. We're going to engage here. A little bit risky. My passive is up, though. We end up turning that around, so that's pretty good. Need to be careful, though, because even though I do have my passive, I don't want to waste it for no reason, and Xerath can easily kill me. Picked up 3 or 4 more kills there. We're just going to back up and go back to shop. Just to talk a little bit about my build, this is a pretty standard support build path. The upgraded Relic Shield into Eye of the Aspect, followed by Knight's Vow, Locket items like this. The only real difference here is the fact that I did decide to go CDR boots. This is just kind of a habit from playing Zac Jungle. I always go CDR boots when I play Zac Jungle. I think CDR is very, very important when playing Zac as a whole, because you want to be able to spam your jump and your CC as much as possible. As you can see, I already have 40% CDR. My jump is on a 7-second cooldown, which is all very, very important. So that is why I'm going CDR boots over stuff like Ninja Tabi and Merc Tread, some of these other options that you see most tank support picks going. I think those could also work if you were thinking about trying this yourself. But just personally, I would recommend CDR boots. Gonna pop Knight's Vow onto Tristana there. We're gonna siege down this tower. That last little skirmish was our only team fight that I've really seen so far this game, but it looks like they're trying to collapse on us a little bit here, so we might have another team fight on our hands. Didn't want to jump in there because we didn't have everybody there, so figured jumping in there would be kind of useless. Also, Ahri was able to get out, so no point in me jumping in if she's just jumping out. I don't think this will land, but I'm going to try to scare off Camille there. Can potentially start to siege in this tower. Mess up my ward there. You didn't see that. Okay, I'm in a bit of a weird situation. We're going to E out here. Only 7 seconds on my E cooldown, so I can re-engage in just a little bit. But this looks like a very shaky start. Let's see if we can get things back on track here. I'm only going to pick up 1 there, but it's fine. See if we can pick up Taric there. Okay, not the best engage. I wanted to get into the Fog of War and try to get multiple ones. I calculated that just a little bit off. Only managed to hit Taric. I was hoping that they would fall back into my ulti and I would be able to get them that way. Or that way. But it's going to work out anyways. We are able to pick up some kills eventually. I have passive, so this time around I'm actually going to be a little bit more likely to go in and die. I'd rather them focus me down with my passive than them focus my teammates down, so I'm going to just walk up, let them kill me essentially. And that's going to be an ace with a quadra kill onto the Warwick. So pretty good stuff, threatening to end the game here. They are on fairly short timers because it's only 22 minutes into this one, so we're probably not going to push the end. But we will be looking this direction to pick up another tower. As you can see there in that team fight, I had a different approach, going back to the typical Zac approach, which is jumping in from afar. The lane phase, I think the Q jump to an opponent and then smack them together, that is going to be your most effective combo. But in the later parts of the game, you're going to take on more of the engage role from the Fog of War, which is what I tried to do there. Not a great example because I wasn't able to get many of them, only the Taric, but that is essentially what you want to be trying to do. So we got 2 inhibs down, which makes this next option very, very easy. All we have to do is siege up top. It should be a very easy play for us to go for. With only 23 minutes into this game, they won't really be able to handle these super minions all that well, so we should be able to siege down the top tower, or even take Baron while they're busy with these super minions. One thing that we do need to make sure that we're doing, though, is staying grouped. There's no point in us splitting up at this point and threatening a throw. Just stick together, make the game very simple on us. We have a 20-kill lead, so we don't have to do anything too fancy. Just stick together and end the game that way. And it should be over within the next few minutes, but we'll have to see how it goes. We're going to start up Baron, I think. They do have vision of us, but we have the 2 inhibs down, so they might be a little too busy dealing with that. We do have 1 Earth Dragon, which is making this a little bit easier for us to do. So we should be able to get this here. Nice. Okay, that was a pretty solid fight there. So I was able to Q over the wall, then auto attack the Baron. Was then able to E over, get the 2-man knockup, followed by the 2-man ulti. Pretty solid play all around there. Not the massive team fight that I was looking for, but still a pretty good skirmish, I guess you could call it. Potentially going to threaten to end the game here. I still have my flash up so I can make a play. I prefer to just focus down the towers. I don't think they're going to be able to hold us all too much. Yeah, they're too scared to even threaten to come and attack us. Alright, not a bad game whatsoever. I was hoping that game would have lasted a little bit longer so we could see some more action in the later parts of the game. But nevertheless, I think that was a really solid game on my behalf. And overall, just a solid display of how Zac support works and how it can actually be super, super effective. Again, I think it all just goes back to the fact that even though he was nerfed in the damage portion of his kit, I think that his CC is still all there, which makes him a great pick still. And I think that he fits the support role really, really well. So I highly recommend that you guys go try him out for yourself. Really, really fun champion to play, and not I wouldn't consider it to be a troll pick, but a little bit of an off-meta pick. So again, I hope you guys did go on to enjoy this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already to help the channel grow. And as always, I will see you guys next time. Peace.